Hello, beautiful. It's me.
I wish you wouldn't wear that coat outside in June. I could smell you from here.
Just to be very clear, Gabriel is referring to himself, not me. The paper, I didn't check this out before I left on the previous video.
Times Picayune, dated June 24th, 1993. There's nothing about the voodoo murders case in the papers today. Gabriel finds a humorous tidbit under the Life is Stranger Than Fiction column. Apparently, there were reports of ghosts in the Bayou Saint Jean last night.
I don't find that humorous.
Various people called the newspaper with stories about hearing strange noises and seeing weird lights over the swamp. Some folks claim it's the ghost of Marie Laveau. The paper relates it to similar delusions that crop up every Halloween. Gabriel's horoscope today reads, "Wise is the warrior who knows when to fight and when to get the hell out of Dodge."
God help me, I'm actually starting to listen to this guy.
Yeah, it's all a bit on the nose. I wonder if the cops will actually investigate those noises in the bayou. There may have been some crimes committed, just saying.
Got any ideas, Grace?
Yeah, get out of town.
You're so helpful.
We have to do something else first, though. Let's give Uncle Wolfgang a call.
I'm doing the best I'm doing.
Struggling to find it today.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht?
This is Gabriel Knight. Can I speak to Wolfgang, please?
Ja, Herr Knight. Einen Moment, bitte.
Gabriel, it's so good to hear your voice. I had such a dream last night.
Tell me about it.
There's a good reason for that, Uncle Wolfgang. We need to talk.
Gabriel fills in Wolfgang on the events of the previous evening.
Ah, it is even worse than I thought.
You bet it is. We have to talk about what I'm supposed to do.
Ooh, we actually get a portrait. That's a really neat portrait, actually. We can't see his face, so Gabriel is imagining him. Alright, let's go through the list.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
It sounds as though you have learned much during your investigation in New Orleans. Perhaps you will fill me in when we have a chance to sit down and talk.
Are you saying you know nothing? Surely not.
What can you tell me?
It sounds as perhaps.
Alright, maybe this will be a short conversation.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I know only what you have told me. They seem to be very similar to the killings in Gunther's journal.
What do you...
I know only what you have told me.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
He's not from
It
here.
was just another American city to me until I started dreaming about you. Now I feel it is not safe for you there. I wish you would leave.
What can you tell me about...
I told you I wish you would leave there, Gabriel.
What can you...
I told...
Why would we ask him that?
Do you know anything about snakes?
I have not studied the subject. I have an intense dislike for them.
Do you know anything about...
I have not studied...
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I'm afraid I've never heard of it.
Nothing so far.
What can you tell me about...
I'm afraid I've...
Do you have any idea what Cabri sans cœur means?
No, what does it mean?
It means goat without horns. It's a term used for human sacrifice in voodoo.
Well, let's hope we can avoid any more of that in this family.
I'm sorry, any more?
Do you know anything more about Cabri sans cœur?
I know only what you've told me, that it refers to human sacrifice.
Who in our family got sacrificed?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
No, I'm afraid not.
I didn't mean to click that one just yet.
Do you know anything more?
I know only...
Do you know any...
No, I'm...
Alright.
I've heard rumors of a secret hound fool here in New Orleans.
Yeah, I am sure they have a temple there, and probably a very elaborate one. You should not go near it, though. Not alone.
And I'd take you with me?
Any ideas on where the Gedde Hound Four in New Orleans might be?
No, if I were in New Orleans and could look around, something might look familiar to me. Strike a chord, so to speak. But I'm not, so you must use your own judgment.
I'm thinking two places. Firstly, the cemetery, and secondly, that weird room at the cathedral.
Any ideas on where...
No, but
Do you know anything about animal masks?
yes, Tetlos people wear animal masks for their rituals, don't they? It is not at all uncommon. Many occult groups are based heavily on animal totems. Animals have such pure, primal traits. Spirituality, good or bad, is about reaching these pure levels. Aggressive and cunning like the snake, agile and nurturing like the monkey. Even our family is associated with the image of a lion.
A proud lion.
Tell me more about animal masks.
I've already given you what limited knowledge I have on the subject.
Tell me,
Do
you know anything about veves?
It is a visual symbol of one or more lore. Each lore has its own sign, which is used to summon it.
Do you know anything else about veves?
I've already given you.
So the Veve pattern that we've got, is that specific to one lower? Like, is that summoning Tassilo maybe, or Ogun, Badagri, or Dambala, or is it an amalgamation of all three perhaps?
Have you ever heard of Dambala?
Dambala is a snake. He is a Loa, a voodoo god.
Yes. He's one of the primary Loa of the Gedde tribe.
I see. Good work. That information might prove useful.
You saying that it's a primary lower there makes me think, yeah, okay, maybe the Veve embodies that spirit.
Does the name Ogun Badagri mean anything to you?
It is a voodoo Loa, is it not?
Yes,
He's
a
uncertain.
particularly nasty one, so I understand. Have you come across anything about it in your research?
He seems to be feared by most voodoo groups. I haven't come across very much specific information.
So the family is unaware of that one, okay.
Do you know anything more about Dambala?
No, my knowledge of the Loa is fairly limited.
Got to click that?
Do you know anything else about Ogun Badagri?
I'm afraid I can't tell you any more about that.
I assume can't in this context means that he literally cannot, not that he won't.
Do you know...
Alright, Schattenjäger.
What can you tell me about Schattenjägers?
Yes, of course. I sometimes forget how little you know of the family, Gabriel. I never understood how Heinz could allow his sons to remain ignorant. But now is not the time for that discussion. Schattenjäger is really two words in English, Gabriel. Schatten means shadow, and Jäger means hunter.
Shadow Hunter.
Yes, shadow hunter.
Alright everyone, that's going to be on the test at the end of the week. Please make sure you remember that. Schattenjäger is Shadow Hunter in German.
Tell me more about Schattenjägers.
We Ritters have been Schattenjägers for many centuries. No one is sure when it began or how, but
Whoa.
we have records of ancestors as early as the 13th century fulfilling this role. Some believe that the role was given us when... but such fantasies cannot be of use to you at the moment, Gabriel.
That makes me think it's a religious thing. Or something involving kings and queens, perhaps. Shadowhunter, though. In the graphic novel that we looked at the start of the previous video, and oh boy, that was an absolute bastard to edit, let me tell you, Gunther Ritter referred to himself as a witch hunter, not a shadow hunter. I don't know if there's any practical difference there, or whether he just embellished it a bit. I don't know.
Tell me more about Schattenjägers.
Most people are completely blind to the fact that evil does exist. It is out of vogue at the present, but I tell you, shadows of darkness, spirits, vampires, witches, demons, these things are real. It is to their advantage that the world has become so scientific, so cynical. But we know they exist, Gabriel, and we hunt them.
How do we hunt them? And why?
Why? Because it is our duty. We are the ones who know, Gabriel. As for how, that is something you will have to learn. But it is not easily explained over the phone.
So we're basically witches, in other words, except maybe we're a little less mercantile about it.
Tell me more about Schattenjägers.
We can talk more about that later, Gabriel. For now, you know enough.
Do you know anything about Rada drums?
Rada drums? You mean ceremonial drums?
He knows.
Yes. The Gedde tribe uses drummers around the French Quarter as relay messengers to keep track of their business.
Those drums have a ceremonial use, too. It would be useful to know their code, Gabriel.
I had Grace find some information on them.
That's my boy.
Do you know anything about Rada drums?
I don't know anything that could help you with that code, Gabriel.
It's alright, we've got the book. We can show it to you when we meet you.
Tell me about yourself.
I hope there will be time for that later, Gabriel, after this is all over. For now, we must deal with the matter at hand.
Nothing, okay.
Tell me about you.
I hope there will be...
Right, you know something about Tesselo? Or I hope you do, more than what we've read in the journal, because that's all we know. Something about Gunther. Tesselo somehow took the medallion off him. Hey, yeah, Gabriel did ask, how do we hunt them? Why do we hunt them? I was going to ask, is the talisman of actual importance? Like, is it possible for us to actually do our job without the talisman? If not, that is a serious concern, and what have we been doing for the last 3 centuries or so?
Tell me about Tetelo.
Well, from your description of the ritual last night, I'd say that Gunther's mistress, Tetelo, is now the primary loa for the Gedde tribe. It seems she still controls them by possessing her female descendants and speaking through them. You remember in Gunther's journal he said that Tetelo was possessed by her father's loa during the killings in Charleston?
This sounds similar, but Tetelo has obviously become a much more powerful Loa than her father ever was. Probably because of the added power of the talisman.
Tell me more about Tetelo.
I believe she truly loved Gunther. After all, she was raised to be her father's daughter. Their religion was not a choice she made, but a duty she endured. How can she be blamed for that? The spirit she has become, that is a different matter. It is utterly evil. I am certain that the lower Tetela bears little resemblance to the woman Tetela was before the burning in Charleston.
I said she obtained her final form during the last video, but she's had 3 centuries to work on it. Oh boy.
Tell me more about Tetelo.
She once was a beautiful and intelligent woman, and she probably did not deserve Gunther's betrayal. But the Tetelo we fight now is more akin to her tribe's dark gods than to anything human in nature.
Tell me more about...
She once was a beautiful...
That's it. So, once again, sins of the fathers. Tesselo didn't choose this originally. It was because her daddy was a shaman and she was chosen to be a sacrifice.
Let's talk about the talisman.
I myself have only seen it in old sketches and paintings, and in my dreams. It was in the family for centuries before Tetelo took it. It is believed to be as old as the role of Schattenjäger itself. The talisman has genuine power. I don't know how or why, but it is so. The Schattenjägers swore to use the power for good, never for evil. For defense, not offense. Since it fell into Tetlo's hands, I'm afraid to think what the power has been used for, or what it will be used for in the future. With the talisman, Tetlo has all the power and we none. The only possible way to fight her is to regain the talisman. Then we will at least be on more equal footing.
You've got to think she's used it at least once in the last 300 years, dude.
How can we regain the talisman?
We've been searching for the talisman for years, ever since we lost it. It's a terrible thing to know that something powerful that was entrusted to us is in the wrong hands.
Entrusted by
the
whom?
The talisman is probably buried with Tetlo's remains. That's what gives her Loa so much power.
Who gave the talisman to the Ritters? I'm thinking either a god or a king or a queen.
Is there anything else you can tell me about the talisman?
The most important thing about the talisman is that it be once again in the hands of the Schattenjägers.
Is there anything...
The most important...
Tesselo's remains.
How would we find Tetelo's remains?
Ha! We have pondered that question a long time, we Ritters. There are two probabilities. The first is that her remains are with the tribe at their current location. The other is that the remains were returned to a sacred place near the tribe's original homeland. We've tried to locate Tetelo's African homeland, but Gunther says so little in his journal about her tribe, and slaving records are practically non-existent. Also, Tetelo's tribe was utterly destroyed in its African form in the late 17th century. There was nothing like a census in Africa then. As for the other idea, we had no clue as to where Tetelo's people went after fleeing Charleston, until now.
I'm guessing we need to go to the cemetery next.
How would we find Tetelo's remains again?
We must locate the tribe's original African homeland. Her remains might be there, or they might be in New Orleans, buried among her descendants.
The tomb is locked though, and we don't know how to get inside.
How would we find
We must...
Let's discuss the possible African homeland.
All right. Have you learned anything that might help us locate it?
I spoke with the Professor Hartridge. Unfortunately for him, he thinks the tribe's name was Agri, and that they lived near the Fon tribe in what is now called the People's Republic of Benin.
That is incredible, Gabriel. I must go research this new information in my library right now.
Wait, what should I do?
Stay low. If you get a chance, you might look into the possibility that Tetelo's remains are somewhere in New Orleans.
Can do.
But don't try to broach their private areas without my assistance, Gabriel. You will make a fine Schattenjäger, but only if you are not dead.
Sure, I'll wait.
Bye then, Gabriel. And remember, if you need a place of safety, come to Schloss Ritter.
Goodbye, Uncle Wolfgang.
Right, there actually wasn't that much information there, believe it or not. He didn't really tell us anything new except a little bit of history about Tesselo and the Schattenjägers and the talisman. It sounds like a lot, but there actually wasn't that much amongst all the subjects there. I just wrote down Fon tribe because I believe everything else is on here. Yep, the Agri and the People's Republic of Benin. Definitely had those written down already. Okay, I think we have a destination, but I don't know what to do when we get there.
I'm going out for a bit.
Be careful.
The other thing I can do is try calling the travel agency and see if we can get a ticket to Germany. I apologise, my voice is a little... Oh, whoa, 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 whoa.
The plate is up. Beneath the plate is a button.
Alright, so let me make a save immediately. As I interrupted myself there, I apologise if I sound a little bit off today. I feel a bit sick.
Gabriel hears the faint sound of breaking glass.
Whoa.
Damn. You'd think there'd be a light.
We have a disposable flashlight for this purpose. Oh my god. I have to click the mouse to move it. Alright, so we're in a very dark, very square room. There's one part here where the flashlight is not actually doing anything.
It's a lit button.
The lights? Never mind. Yeah, unfortunately, I distinctly recall what we're going to find in here. So it's not going to come as a shock. Alright, what's in the center here?
There's broken glass on the floor.
What would that have been?
There's Gabriel doesn't need any broken glass. Gabriel... There's
I'm not sure what that signifies.
There's broken... This appears to be a mourning chamber. A place for family members to come and sit and remember the dead.
Is there anything I can do with that broken glass? Is there a light in here? Ah.
Someone's broken the light in here. No wonder it's so dark.
So normally it's well lit. That makes a lot of sense.
The broken light can't be helped now.
And I'm assuming there's nothing I can do with the glass.
Nothing can be done with the broken glass.
Okay, the crypts, or whatever they are.
Crypt drawers line the back wall. Gabriel can't make out the name on that drawer's plaque. Crypt. Gabriel can't... Crypt. Gabriel... Crypt. Gabriel... That drawer is marked with a pattern like the VV.
That's the important one, very clearly.
Crypt. This up... Crypt.
Oh.
The block on the drawer has a name etched on it. Celeste Gedde. The drawer's interiors contain mostly dust and bones. There's no reason to mess with the plaque. Gabriel can't do that in the dark.
I'm sure I can if I try. We'll leave the Veve for last because I know who's in there. Just want to see if there's anything else in these other drawers.
The block on Cecilia Gedde.
Cecilia? Just gonna write these names down even though they probably don't mean anything.
The block Ariane Gedde. The block Jacqueline Gedde.
All female so far.
Gabriel. The block of Zelia Gedde.
Trying to frantically scribble names and also click through these things at the same time and not hold you up. It's not working terribly well, especially when I accidentally move the window and need to do a cut like that.
The block Helena Gedde.
Elena, they're all female. Were these all voodoo queens or all possessed by Tesla at some point? Surely not.
The black Rosamond Gedde.
Where are the male members of this family?
The black Cecilia Gedde.
Dang. 8 females, okay. Let's take a look in the middle, and this would normally be shocking, but I know who's in here.
Mosley. drop my flashlight. Huh?
Sometime later.
Ouch! My head! What the hell was that?
Yeah, Mosley's in there. What I don't recall is if he is actually alive or not. I don't recall whether he's dead or just pretending. Oh.
Mosley's body is gone.
So Gabriel certainly believes he's dead. I've got a feeling he's alive, but I don't recall that with any certainty. Right, who's this?
The plaque on the drawer has an etching of the Veve on it, but no name.
Right.
There's a wallet in the drawer. It must have fallen from Mosley's jacket when the body was moved.
Let's grab that.
This is the... It's a man's wallet.
Mosley's wallet?
Gabriel opens the wallet and finds some ID belonging to Mosley and an American's repressed card.
I mean, it's so on the nose regarding this game's subject matter, but it's 2025, that's even worse.
Mosley's American's repressed card. Credit. What a concept.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
The card has Mosley's name written on it. It expires next month. There's nothing written on the wallet. The other items in Mosley's wallet don't interest Gabriel.
We're not interested in his ID or health insurance card or anything like that. We're just after the all-important credit card. Okay, can I get out of here without being murked?
The button wouldn't do that.
I don't know if there's anything else in there or not.
The plate is up.
I mean, it might make sense that Mosley might put himself in there, but I don't recall if that's a thing or not. Can I have a chat to you about this?
Could I have a minute?
What you need, boy?
How's business today?
About like every day.
Mind if I pick your brain a minute?
Go ahead.
What other tombs?
No. Don't know how that sort of thing.
Tell me something.
Just look around.
What else can...
Boy, go.
I don't think we can.
What can you...
I don't really...
What do you...
I don't...
I would have thought we'd be able to say something about it, probably in this menu here, but nothing's coming up.
You been working here a long time?
Longer than you've been alive, son.
Should I go back to the police station and tell them, hey, we found Mosley's body? We're going to get arrested right here, right now.
Officer Frick.
Same as before.
Officer Frick.
I can't even talk to him now. Wow. I may have found someone who may or may not be a former co-worker, just saying.
Where have you been? I was worried about you.
For good reason, apparently.
What happened? Do you need a doctor?
Nothing you want to know about, and no, just some aspirin.
Gabriel, this is nuts. You have to get out of New Orleans.
No kidding.
Well, listen. Wolfgang called while you were out. He said, and I quote, "Tell Gabriel that I found what I was looking for. It's time for me to do my duty. Schloss Ritter is his now." Now, call me crazy, but I don't think that's good news.
Not for Uncle Wolfie, no.
What are you gonna do?
If I figure it out, I'll let you know.
I think we have to go to Germany. We don't have a choice. So we told Wolfgang something about the African tribe, the name, and he said he was going to his library to do some research. I assume he's found something and maybe he's on his way to Africa perhaps. That's about the only thing that I can think of.
Guten Tag, Sie haben Schloss Ritter erreicht?
Let me speak to Uncle Wolfgang, please.
Ah, Herr Knight. He cannot come to speak here.
What do you mean?
I cannot get him. Sorry, goodbye.
But
That was very abrupt. And in case you're wondering, yes, I do know how to read that, except for the last word, which I assume means called. But it says, good day, you have something, Schloss Ritter, so I assume it is called. Alright, so where's this phone book? Because I did see something in here which looked familiar and or looked useful.
Somewhere.
See the World Travel Agency. Can you help me, please? I've just realised some of these are 535, 555. Why would they not use 555 for all of these? That seems very odd. 585 1130.
Hello. See the World Travel Agency. How may I help you?
That voice though. I know I should ask that, but let me ask this first.
what are your specials?
2 weeks in India for 2,000 rupees.
Well, that's certainly special.
Uh-huh. Is there something else I can help you with?
How much for a trip to the Caribbean?
Well, our least expensive trip is 4 days, 3 nights in St. Croix for $1,250. Of course, we have much nicer packages available.
I'm sure your packages are astonishing, but that's out of my league.
Is there something else I can help you with?
I've always wanted to visit Anderson, Indiana.
I'm so sorry, but you can't get there from here.
Can you just get me out of here, please?
I'd be happy to send you anywhere, sir, but I need a destination.
Can you just get me...
I'd be happy...
Okay, how about Germany?
How much for a trip to Rittersburg, Germany?
Rittersburg, Germany? Hold on, let me look that up. I can fly you into Munich. That's the closest airport to Rittersburg. You can rent a car from there, or take the train. Let's see. The best price I can see for the flight is $1,400.
Ouch.
What would you like to do?
Mosley's going to pay for it. It's alright, the card expires next month.
Charge it to my Americans repressed.
Yes, sir. And your name was?
Mosley.
Feeling a little guilty, Gabriel gives the travel agent Mosley's card number and is informed that he can pick up his ticket at the New Orleans International Airport.
Alright, so that's at least one more crime that we can add to the list. Got a way out of here now, but we're using Mosley's credit card to do it.
Guess what? I'm going to Germany.
Really? That's great, but how on earth could you afford?
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
Oh my God. I wouldn't like the sound of that even if you were a man.
I'll miss you too, Grace.
I think they will miss each other. Gabriel's a bit of a creep, and I don't like the way he talks sometimes, but these two have a reasonable relationship here. We say one final goodbye?
I'm really gone, Grace.
I really hope you'll be safe, Gabriel.
I
really...
She means it.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Can you do some research for me while I'm gone?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
I can't.
Okay.
Also, hold my messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
I think I forgot to ask you that on day 6. Can I tell you anything about this?
You can't tell me.
Nope. Sorry, I don't speak German.
But we know now. We can tell you all about this.
Does?
No.
But we're not going to. Alright, farewell, Grace. Hopefully when I get back, you're still alive.
Goodbye, Gracie.
Good luck. Let me know what's going on, will you?
Of course.
Farewell, New Orleans.
Gabriel picks up his tickets at the airport and boards a plane for Munich.
Indiana Jones vibes. Ooh.
Wolfgang?
Hello, my name is Knight, Gabriel Knight.
Herr Knight. Oh, kommen Sie bitte herein. I mean, come in, please, Herr Knight. I was not expecting you. Has Wolfgang sent you here?
Uncle Wolfgang? No, I came to see him. Isn't he here?
No, he is gone. I'm sorry. You came all this way.
Oh, great. That's all I need.
Herr Knight, Wolfgang told me all about you and gave me instructions for you to feel welcome here. Please, this is your home. You are a Ritter, no? I am just doing some work. I will continue and you may make yourself comfortable. If there is anything you need, please ask me. You may use Wolfgang's bedroom. It is at the top of the stairs.
Thank you, Miss,
You may call me Gerde, Herr Knight.
We're not immediately trying to hiss on her, so that's an improvement. There was a bit there and I may have missed something there, but Wolfgang told Gerde about us and to make us feel welcome, but she doesn't know where Wolfgang is at the moment?
Gerde is young and quite attractive. Potato. They must grow well around here.
She's sitting here peeling potatoes.
Potato. Gerde.
Can I have one?
Gabriel is sure he'll end up getting some of those for our meal, sooner or later.
Alright, so let's have a look around. Is it still day 7? I'm guessing so. We flew east, so we lose time. I'm guessing it's the evening, although that exterior shot made me think it was late afternoon perhaps. Or early afternoon. Afternoon, whatever.
The great hall of Schloss Ritter towers around Gabriel. You can imagine the heating bills.
I imagine it's unheated.
High up in the wall is a small window. The great hall of Schloss.
Also, this is kind of crazy. Gabriel's taken his coat off, but it's snowing outside. Surely it must be cold in here as well.
The great hall of Schloss Ritter. A few tapestries hang on the wall. Gabriel isn't sure if they mean something, or if they're just good insulation. A few ancient weapons adorn the hall. The great hall of a few.
Can I have one?
That weapon might be a bit much to carry round.
It looks like there's a shield or a coat of arms in between them.
There is nothing in that part of the great hall that Gabriel needs.
What else we got?
The main entry doors are massive. They look strong enough to withstand anything. A huge archway provides an exit from the great hall. A large handcraft dagger hangs on the wall. It looks quite old, but it's been polished to a high shine. A few ancient weapons adorn the hall.
The dagger stands out. Can we have that? Or is it attached?
This dagger.
It is the knife of a Schattenjäger. You may take it, Herr Knight. Everything in this castle is yours now.
Thank you for not making an inappropriate comment, Gabriel.
The Ritter dagger is solid, weighty, and highly polished.
Anything on the hilt?
The dagger is unmarked.
It's not the dagger from our dreams. That's the one that we saw in the Voodoo Museum.
It's a lion's head carved in stone.
Can I touch it?
Doing that with the lion's head would not help. Gabriel wouldn't have much luck moving solid rock. The castle doesn't need rearrangement. The castle An old velvet sofa is one of the few pieces of furniture in the Great Hall. The Great Hall. There's an archway at the head of the stairs. A few stone steps lead up to a second floor. A few...
Okay, before we talk to Gerde, is there something over here? There is not. I saw her walk in that direction to put our coat away, but I do not see anywhere else I can go there.
It's a shame. At the moment, Gabriel can't think of a need for the salt.
Okay, there's salt in here if we need it. Right, Gerde.
So, what do you do when you're not puttering around the castle?
Every day I go to Riddersburg to do the daily shopping and visit my friends.
Have you worked here long?
For the past 4 years, I came here when I was 18.
Do the math, Gabriel.
What's it like in Rittersburg?
It is very peaceful and quiet. I am sure you will find it like a vacation, yeah?
Somehow, I doubt this is going to be a vacation.
Under normal circumstances, yes, this would be, but we came here fearing for our lives, and I think things are only going to get darker from here.
Ooh, is it always this cold around here?
To tell you the truth, we never have snow in June here, Herr Knight. Even though we are in the Alps, the weather, it is not normal this year.
If you're cold, put your coat on.
This place is so quiet. Doesn't that bother you at all?
I love it here in Schloss Ritter. Even the silence feels like home to me.
So, what do you do when...
Every...
Have you worked... What's...
It...
Somehow...
We're just sleeping. Right? I think she might be the last person that we speak to here. Assuming nothing else happens, assuming we don't get another page.
Can I ask you a few questions?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, so let's go through the list.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Wolfgang is the only one who would know about that.
Okay, we're going to get that a lot. I can tell already.
What can you tell...
Wolf...
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
What murders?
In New Orleans.
Oh, I have not heard of them. I am sorry.
What?
I told you, I know nothing about that.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
I have never left Germany, Herr Knight. Perhaps someday you will tell me about it.
What can you... Do you know anything about snakes?
We do have snakes here in Germany, but I do not know much about them.
Do you know anything?
We do...
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I have never heard of such a day.
Wolfgang hasn't either.
What can... Do you have any idea what Cabri sans cœur means?
That is not in a language I understand. So sorry.
That actually surprises me. Not that she doesn't understand that particular sentence, but surely she would recognize French.
Do you have any idea?
That is not...
They're right next to each other.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
That is something Wolfgang...
Here we go.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
That is something...
Do you know anything about Veves?
That is some...
Do you know anything, Gerde?
Do you know any...
That is...
Have you ever heard of Damballa?
That is something...
Oh my god.
Does the name Ogun Badakri mean anything to you?
That is something...
Alright, so you must know about Schattenjägers. You called us a Schattenjäger.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
As Wolfgang may have told you, Schattenjäger means shadow hunter. The Ritter family have always been Schattenjägers. It is a kind of priesthood, though not as restrictive as most.
Hey, yeah, how did you join? Surely this is, I want to say like a family secret or something. But here you are, 22 years of age, and you've learnt all this stuff. And by that I mean this subject, you know, none of these subjects.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
Each Schattenjäger passes on his knowledge to a younger man in the Ritter line when the time is right.
And that is something that Heinz presumably never did with Philip? and therefore Philip never did it for us.
Tell me what you know about Schattenjägers.
I'm sure Wolfgang meant for you to take his place someday as Schattenjäger.
I'm just looking at the family tree. Surely she would be saying Philip there rather than us. Don't know what to read into that.
Tell me what you know about Schatten.
I'm sure Wolfgang meant for you.
I mean, Wolfgang definitely means it now because we are the last living Ritter, apart from him and anyone else who's lurking around, but you would think Philip, our father, would take priority there.
Do you know anything about rider drums?
Is that some sort of music? I do not know much about music, but I like the Beatles.
Do you know any...
Is...
No comments.
Tell me about Wolfgang.
What would you like to know?
Okay, here we go.
Where do you think Wolfgang went?
I don't know, but I have a feeling he has gone off to go be Schattenjäger again. He is too old for such chasing around. His heart is very weak. He has not left this castle for 5 years, and now this.
Did he really go to Africa? If so, maybe we won't actually see him.
Do you know when he'll be back?
I only pray he will be back. Before he left, he said Schloss Ritter now belongs to Gabriel. It worried me so to hear him say that. I'm afraid Wolfgang knew he would never return.
What is Wolfgang like?
Wolfgang is a truly wise and good man, the best I have ever known. But his life has been so full of disappointments.
Dang.
What kind of disappointments?
His only son died in infancy, so there was no one to carry on the family line. And the family's financial troubles have been hard on him. Wolfgang wanted to do so much for the world, but it was all he could do just to hold on to Schloss Ritter. He has not left his mark as he wished to.
Updating the family tree, he had a wife or a partner. They had a son. The son has passed away.
What is your relationship with Wolfgang?
Herr Knight, my relationship with your uncle is really none of your business.
You're right, Gerde. I apologize. Forget I asked.
Gabriel actually showing some tact there. Why can't you tell us about that, though? There's only one thought that comes to mind, and I don't want to expand upon it at all.
Can you show me Wolfgang's library?
How do you know about his library?
He told us.
When we talked on the phone, he said he was going to do some research in his library. I thought maybe if I saw what he was researching.
Ah, yeah. A good idea, Herr Knight, but I'm afraid I cannot show you the library. You see, I have never been in it. Only a Schattenjäger can enter the library.
I see.
So, I haven't asked you who you are yet, so I'll hold that thought.
Just tell me anything.
Wolfgang has dedicated his entire life to the role of Schattenjäger.
Just tell me anything.
He has not had a very happy life, but I have done my best to provide him with a little comfort. He thought he was the last of the Ritter line until he found out about you. He knows the history of the Ritter family from many centuries past. He's a good man, a strong man. I am fond of him.
I don't know how old Gabriel is. Let's say, I don't know, early 30s. His father would be, what, 50 if he was still alive? Wolfgang, Philip's father, our grandfather, would be 70 or so, I guess. 70 and 22? No.
Just tell me anything.
Wolfgang has dedicated...
Oh my god, I hope I'm not reading into that incorrectly, but I think I'm correct.
Oh, nothing, never mind.
As you like, Herr Knight.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
I can tell you what they say in the village, what I heard when I was small. To the villagers, the Ritters are a little, how do you say, tragic, to be pitied. They say that the Ritters were chosen by God to fight evil.
There we go.
But something happened. One of them was cursed, and so the Ritters lost the way. They struggle still, but like a lame dog, you see? Without the power or magic they once had.
I wouldn't say one of them was cursed. One of them fell in love with a witch that they were trying to hunt and made some poor life choices.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
There are legends of how powerful the family once was, of some of their mighty deeds, of the richness of the castle, and in turn Rittersberg itself. But at the end of the 17th century that all changed. Since then, the Ritters and Rittersberg have been in decline.
Tell me something about the Ritter family.
It is a troubled family, Herr Knight. That much I know.
And yes, you work for us.
Tell me...
It is a troubled family.
I assume it's just you and Wolfgang. There's no other Ritters here, or indeed other people here.
Tell me something about Schloss Ritter.
Schloss Ritter has stood for many centuries, no one knows how long. It was once the pride of Bavaria, but now it is in disrepair. Wolfgang received offers to open the castle for tourists. He has resisted though, even though the castle is in desperate need of repairs. To him, this ground is sacred.
Tell me something about...
The castle has many rooms and passages, Herr Knight. Most have been closed off and are decaying in the dark and damp. Only a few rooms have been kept up due to the cost.
Didn't Wolfgang mention a library?
There is a library, but I've never been in it. There are places in the castle where only the master is allowed to go.
So Wolfgang is basically maintaining those areas of the castle himself. Gerde is not helping.
Tell me something.
Schloss Ritter is the center from which the Schattenjägers have always gone out to battle the forces of evil.
Tell me something.
Schloss Ritter.
Their ancestral home. Okay, tell me about yourself, Gerde.
Tell me something about yourself.
I was born in Rittersberg, the village below the castle.
Tell me something.
I'm not well traveled, but Wolfgang has been kind and has tutored me in many subjects. It was from him I learned to speak English. He must have sensed you were coming, Herr Knight, and that you would have need of me.
Honestly, your English is better than mine.
Tell me something about you.
I'm very devoted to my position here, with Wolfgang.
Tell me something.
I love Rittersberg. No place on earth could be as beautiful.
Tell me something.
I was born in Rittersberg.
Yeah, my gut feeling is that Wolfgang and her have a thing for each other. Maybe that's why Wolfgang hired her. And, oh my god, that age difference though. I feel very uncomfortable. Right, let's take a look at the time. I'll probably cut the video here, but I've got two choices. I can either go upstairs, or I can go to the right here.
A huge archway provides an exit from the Great Hall.
Well, let's go up here. Nice bedroom.
Wolfgang's bedroom would hold Gabriel's entire studio 4 times over. Not exactly cozy, but Gabriel could get used to it.
Indeed, this place looks gorgeous.
A Gothic-style window looks out over an incredible view. Wolfgang, it's an old-fashioned canopy with heavy bed curtains.
And the bed's been made.
The rug looks like fur from some large animal, but what kind of animal, Gabriel could not say. At the foot of the bed is a small table. It's the biggest bed Gabriel has ever seen. There's a window seat on either side of the window.
It's like a little alcove where you can sit down. Wow.
There's a Wolfgang either a five of Wolfgang of
I'm gonna load that. One sec. Right. What did I miss?
Either Wolfgang left very recently, or Gerde feels quite at home in this room herself.
Or maybe there's a fire lit here just to try and keep the place warm.
A fire blazes steadily in the stone fireplace.
Wasn't worth a chat. What else we got?
The door leads back to the grand hall stairs. Near the bed is an elaborate wooden door. The head of a lion stares at Gabriel from above the door. Wolfgang, the cabinet holds a few items for personal grooming.
Gabriel, please.
It's a chamber pot.
Take me back to the 20th century, please.
Oh boy.
There's a small pair of grooming scissors on the cabinet.
I'm sure we can grab those.
A large display case hangs on the wall. It contains a scroll.
And me to skip over that. Alright, so let's start operating some things.
This scroll looks interesting.
There's no reason to open the empty scroll case.
Scroll case. Scissors.
Gabriel takes the scissors.
Can I take the chamber pot?
There's nothing Gabriel wants in this part of the room. The display case is empty.
The table underneath.
The cabinet itself doesn't interest Gabriel.
What about inside the cabinet though?
The cabinet...
Okay.
Gabriel cannot see a way to use that.
Let's try and click look.
At the foot of the bed is a small table.
It looks more like a chest than a small table.
That doesn't seem to work that way.
Alright, fine. Anything under the rug?
Nothing would bring that rug back to life. There's nothing on the table at the moment.
At the moment, okay.
It's locked. The door has a very large, very oddly shaped keyhole.
Is this the library, perhaps?
It's locked.
Alright, so what did I pick up?
This is the...
Scissors?
The hair clipping scissors are spotless. It looks like Wolfgang uses his scissors as infrequently as Gabriel uses his own.
Can we use them on ourselves?
I don't cut my hair without a damn good reason.
Yeah, you'd probably hire someone else to do it. Chamber pot?
The chamber pot is old, but clean. There's a name of a porcelain manufacturer on the bottom of the chamber pot. But that's about it. That item can...
Alright, the scroll.
The scroll from the display case is very old.
St. George, patron of the light, who hunts the shadows of the night. Upon my blood I call thee now, purify me, for I avow to set my feet upon thy road, thy sword I take up for mine own.
Immediate thought is that's either a puzzle, or we need to use a scroll on something later, perhaps.
St. George, patron of the light, who hunts the shadows of the night. Upon my blood I call thee now, purify me, for I avow to set my feet upon thy road, thy sword I take up for mine own.
Fortunately, Gabriel doesn't need to use the chamber pot on himself at the moment. Why burn that? Why burn that?
I just want to shrink my inventory a bit if possible, please.